I had met Koda many years ago in Tokyo. It was my first launch with Floss. Koda was one of the guests, and we had a very interesting conversation. We talked about design, and we talked about different things. And this is, I think, how the best collaborations start, because it's about relationships. And I think things take time before they actually mature. And it was probably 10 years after that I was contacted by Koda again, and he talked to me about KOYORI. Of course, I had seen the first things that were released at the time, and invited me to be one of the designers to join the team. I think it might sound a little bit boring, but everybody says I love Japan, but it is true. I don't think it's accidental, and I'm not embarrassed to say it myself and repeat the statement that everybody comes up with. But there's something about Japanese culture that is very unique, and so I was really excited about the invitation of KOYORI, and I was ready to embark on a journey, I guess, and a new experience of how it is to work with a different culture in a different way. I cannot say if one is better than the other. I think is to be able to embrace the difference, and I think this is a challenge that every designer has to face. What was particularly interesting is the attention to detail and the respect for the original vision of the designer. And I think for me this was particularly rewarding. I wanted to create a chair that is very welcoming, and I wanted to create a chair with curves. And I think it was almost like a natural evolution that this chair had to be a plywood chair, because obviously it's about bending, it's about the curves, it's about the invitation. KOYORI was already producing pieces of furniture with other designers. And although it's a very young brand, what I tried to do is to really understand where my proposal was going to fit within the company. I tried to study what was already out there in terms of the scale, in terms of the function, in terms of the place of the piece of furniture in the household. And I wanted to create something that is totally different. So the idea of designing an easy chair was an interesting niche that I managed to identify. I wanted to create something that was a little bit oversized because I wanted it to demand a certain space within the house. There's two main curves in the design of the chair. One is the curve of the sit, and the other one is the curve of the back. And the curve is only there as a welcoming gesture to occupy this piece of furniture. It's interesting in its lightness. It's interesting in the fact that it appears effortless, and the elements are also split in a very transparent way. You can identify the structure of the chair by just simply looking at it, because there is a certain clarity in the construction of it. It's just those curves and how they're somehow suspended in the right location through the other solid wood elements. And this is the main principle behind the approach. When you release an object as a designer or a piece of furniture, you have to let it live its own life. And I think the more undefined you leave that piece of furniture, the more chances that object has in becoming a timeless object, because its application is going to be wider. So the freedom of selecting your space to put this piece of furniture is very much an open invitation. I'm curious to see what the suggestions of other people will be.